So you'll need your therapy balls, you'll need your quarters ball, the band, and your blanket. So the small therapy balls. And we'll start on our back. And we'll have a blanket under our head. And please find the right height for your neck, right? When you're on your back, and we'll have the gorgeous ball under our shoulder blades. Have the long piece of your band underneath your back so we can use it a bit later. So, but what I'm sort of really I want to make sure that your neck feels long. Like we all have a unique sort of curve in the upper back. Make sure that it doesn't feel like the floor is too far away and your neck has to strain. So the height of the blanket should be such that it doesn't strain your neck and you're able to relax and breathe here. Okay? So take your time and find that right height for your head. Maybe like even using a yoga block if you know that works better for you. Maybe sort of rolling the blanket up on one side so it supports the curve of your neck. We'll take a moment here with the gorgeous ball underneath your shoulder blades. Your arms resting by your sides. Find an angle that works for you so you don't feel discomfort through the chest. You feel gentle stretching and lengthening. Let's take a moment here to tune into our breath, to feel how the body is connecting to the floor today. And to notice how much of your body is available to your breath right now. Notice if your belly can expand on the inhale, soften on the exhale. And notice where you feel your breath in your chest, in your rib cage. Does it feel like the expansion happens through the front of the rib cage? Maybe a little bit on the sides. And how about through the back of your rib cage? Right where you feel the gorgeous ball pressing up against your shoulder blades. Try to steer your breath gently into the back ribs. And notice how it changes the sensational breath, switches it into this three-dimensional expansion. Beautiful. So your knees are bent. Parallel your knees, feet on the floor. Support the back of your head with your hands. Interlock your fingertips just at the base of your skull. Take another inhale right into the spot where you feel the ball pressing up against your ribcage. Start exhaling slowly. And at the very bottom of the exhale, feel the front rim of your chest start pulling in towards your belly, and that power of your breath brings your upper back up. So your chest is on the same plane as your belly and maybe even rounding a little bit. Then slowly, slowly uncurl, gently pressing the back of your head into your hands and resisting the hands back. Gentle active stretch for your neck. Release your upper body back. Take an inhale, steer the breath into the back ribs again. Feel that pressure from the wall coming up against your back ribs. As you exhale, go to the very bottom of the exhalation. Keep exhaling and allow the exhale to bring your upper back up and in. And then slowly uncurl. And one more time. Inhale into the back ribs. Exhale. Bring the elbows together. Allow the exhale to bring your upper back up and in towards your belly. And then slowly, slowly uncurl. Press the back of your head into your hands and allow the head to win eventually. Beautiful. Allow the arms to rest by your sides. Take a moment here. See how your upper mid-back feels. Notice how the breath is now distributing all around the circumference of your ribcage. Now roll onto one side, take the ball up, put it off to the side, and we'll find the band. Make sure the height of your blanket is still just right for you. Maybe you want to unfold it a little bit because we now do not have the ball underneath our shoulder blades. So find your band and pull on the ends, and the band will be hugging you right underneath the shoulder blades. Now see if you can pull on the ends so much that you feel the shoulder blades lift off the floor. And then slowly bring the shoulder blades back to the floor. Let's bend the elbows, let go of the bend for a second, and let's have the horse's ball between our knees so we can sort of anchor our lower body by pressing the knees into the ball. Nice. So we're going to pull on the ends of the band again. Squeeze the ball between your knees. Make sure the bottom of your ribs feels heavy on the band, right? We're resisting back. And now we'll pull on those ends and we'll feel the shoulder blades lift off the floor. And then we'll slowly allow the shoulder blades to come back to the floor with your elbows straight. And pull, 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 pull. So you're stretching the band, but you're pressing against that resistance across your upper mid-back, right? And then you exhale and you bring the shoulder blades back to the floor. One more time. Reach the arms up. Feel the shoulder blades lift off the floor. And then slowly, slowly allow them to settle back down. Lovely. And now slowly bend the elbows, allow the band to release. Now shift the band further down your back so it's hugging you across your waistline now. The elbows will stay on the floor and you'll hold the band closer to your body so when you bring your forearms up with your elbows still on the floor, you'll feel that tension from the band, right, across your lower back. And you're still squeezing the ball between your knees. So here we'll inhale and we'll tilt the pelvis forward and you'll feel your lower back lift off the floor and the pressure from the band will decrease a little bit. And then you exhale and you tip your pelvis back and you press your lower back into the band where you feel it's hugging you. Inhale and tip the pelvis forward. Feel that arch through your lower back increase. Exhale. Tip the pelvis back and push into the band. One more. Inhale. Tip the pelvis forward. Exhale. Tip it back. Beautiful. Now back to center. Now let's move the band back to our middle back. Let go of the ball. You can just let it drop between your legs. Pull on your band. Press your bottom ribs into the band where you feel it. Lift your right leg off the floor. Notice if the curve of your lower back has changed. Put the foot down. Lift the left foot off the floor. You can notice if the curvature of your lower back changed. Try to keep it the same. Put the foot down. Lift the right foot off the floor. Try to find 90-degree angle between your torso, your thigh, and inside your knee. Now we're going to keep the right leg up. Lift your left leg up. Still pulling on the band, still resisting the upper mid-back into that band. Beautiful. Now we're going to tap the right heel down and lift it up. Nothing changes through the torso. Left heel down. Pick it up. Try not to change the angle inside your knee, right? It's way more challenging to only flex at the hip, right? We're not bringing the heel in towards the bum. The angle of your knee stays exactly the same. Tap, lift up. Pressing into the band across your upper and back. Couple more times. Tap, lift up. Tap, lift up. One more time each side. Tap, lift up. Tap, lift up. Beautiful. Both feet go down, nice and slow. Release the band. Take a moment there. Now let's put the ball back in between our knees. You can use your feet to do that or whatever works. We're going to pull on the band again. It's still across our upper mid-back. Squeeze the ball, and then we'll lift both feet off the floor and we'll find that 90-degree angle again. The lower back has a neutral curve in it. We're not pressing into the floor. Okay? So pulling on the back. Now we're going to take our arms 2 inches over to the left and our knees 2 inches over to the right. Keep pressing your ribs into the band. Come back to center, squeeze the ball, inhale here. The spine does not change its shape. Exhale, knees over to the left, arms over to the right. Still pressing against the band through the upper mid-back. Come back to center, inhale. Exhale, legs over to the right, arms over to the left. Come back to center, inhale. As you exhale, arms over to the right, knees over to the left. Squeeze the ball. Come back to center, release the band, nice and slow. Push your feet down. Take a moment here. Whew. Take the ball and put it underneath your sacrum. So lifting your feet, your hips up, sneaking the ball underneath the sacrum. Widen your feet a little bit and just go side to side, massaging your sacrum over the gorgeous ball. Lovely. Now take the ball out, put it off to the side. Find your band again. Let's keep the right arm down by the side of the body and we'll reach the left arm up. Well, actually, the right arm will be out to the side, so the band is still hugging you across your upper mid back. And the left arm is pointing up. And if the ball works for you, the quarters ball, you can keep squeezing it between your knees here. So the left arm is pointing up. Try not to break in the wrist. Make sure your wrist is in line with your forearm. And we'll try some rotations here. So rotate the left arm while pulling on the band. Keep rotating, keep rotating. Like you're corkscrewing your arm into the shoulder there. The arm bone into the shoulder blade. Keep rotating. Now try reaching the arm across midline towards your left side while still pulling on the band. Reach across midline. Yeah, come back to center. Reach. Come back to center. Beautiful, let's switch. So we'll bring your left arm up. Right arm up, left arm back on the floor. Still pulling on the band. Still pressing into the mid-back, upper mid-back. Rotate the right arm. Pulling on the band and rotating, looking for that rotation. Keep your elbows straight. Your lower back is in neutral. Rotating. Very nice. So now we're going to reach the right arm across the midline, pulling on the band. And our upper mid back stays heavy on the floor. Reach it across. Come back to center. 2 more. Reach it across. Come back to center. And again, reach it across. Beautiful. And slowly release the band. Take the band from underneath you. And we'll place it across our tips in the front now. Go here. And we'll pin it down with our hands, right? Create enough resistance there so you can pin it down. So your hands will remain on the floor. And we'll tip our pelvis back and forth here like we did with the band a minute ago. Tipping the pelvis forward, increasing that arch in the lower back. Tipping the pelvis back and flattening the lower back into the ground. Check in with your neck. Does your neck feel comfortable on the blanket? So let's inhale together and we'll tip the pelvis forward. As we exhale, we tip it back. We'll pin the band down through the hands and we'll push into the feet and we'll lift up into the resistance of the band. And then slowly, slowly bring yourself down. Bone by bone by bone. Tip the pelvis forward. As you inhale, tip the pelvis back. Wait for your lower back to press into the floor. Pin the band down through the hands and lift the hips up into the band. And then slowly down. Beautiful. 2 more. Inhale, tip it forward. Your arms have to stay straight. Shoulders are away from the ears. Exhale, wait for the lower back to push into the floor. Press through your feet and come up. And then slowly down. Beautiful. So have the band in your hands. And we're going to bring your arms, both arms up towards the ceiling and we'll gently pull on the band. Feel where your bottom ribs are on the floor. Are they lifted off or are they still heavy? So keep them heavy on the floor. Pull on your band and then bring your arms up and over your head, but only till you feel the shoulder blades still remain they're able to stay heavy on the floor. As soon as you feel them lifting off the floor, stop there and then bring the arms back up. Inhale here, make sure the bottom ribs feel heavy on the floor. Pull on your band and arms go up. Slightly over. It's really hard to go all the way up and over while keeping the bottom ribs on the floor. And come back. Beautiful. We'll switch the grip. We're gonna hold, so do the under grip. So the palms are towards your face now. Okay. Pull on the bend again, so the shoulder is now more in an external rotation. Pull on the bend. Glue your bottom ribs to the floor, and then bring your arms up and over, but only if you can keep the bottom ribs heavy on the floor. And then bring them back up. One more time, inhale into the ribs, into the back ribs. Keep them heavy on the floor. Pull on the bend, squeeze the ball between your knees, arms up and over while pulling on the bend. Any amount. Keep that activation going, keep your ribs heavy on the floor. And bring the arms. Beautiful. And release the bend. Put it off to the side, and let's roll over onto one side. You can use the ball underneath the side of your head as a pillow, like so. We'll squeeze the ball in our top arm, and we'll do some rotations here. So you can have blanket between the knees if this feels your hips. If this makes your hips feel better. Squeezing the ball, reach it up towards the sky and find some rotation at the shoulder. Connect to that sensation of a phantom band still across your upper mid-back. Try to press out into the band, right? So we're not going to the back band, we still keep that neutral curve through the upper back and through our lower back as well. So slightly rounded through the upper back, because that's the natural curve of your thoracic spine, and slightly sort of concave through the lower back. Little valley in the lower back, and rotating, noticing how the shoulder feels. You can relax your head into the wall, have your neck nice and soft. Nice. Now bring the arm down. Rotate the arm in so the ball is pointing behind you. Again, pretend you're pressing up against the band over your middle back. Reach the arm back. When it doesn't go any further back, rotate, open the armpit up towards the sky. Bring the arm up and over. We're stabilizing the spine now while rotating at the shoulder. Reach back. Rotate. Squeeze the ball up and over. And one more time. Reach back. Rotate. Keep the elbow straight if you can. Up. Beautiful. Now reach the left arm on a diagonal in front of you. Straighten your left leg and reach it behind you. And we'll find a gentle sort of spiral through the spine, a diagonal stretch. So you're reaching the ball forward and you're reaching your left heel back, straightening the left knee. And then you pull it back, and we'll do the opposite. We'll reach the left leg forward, flex the foot, and reach the left arm up and over your head. But try to keep your ribcage stacked over your pelvis. So pretend you're still pushing into the bend across your upper mid-back. You're not going to the back bend. And release back to center. Now we're going to release, shift the ball off to the side. Reach the arm alongside the body And we'll do that side neck stretch. So see how far to the floor you can release your head. So you feel a stretch to the side of your neck. Squeeze the ball in your hand. And slowly bring your head back up. So your neck is in line with your spine. And then slowly release it back down towards the floor. Only go to where you still can breathe and you're comfortable. Reach the ball away from that left ear. And bring your head back up. One more time. The head releases down. Reach the ball towards your left heel. And bring the head back up. Beautiful. So the ball goes underneath your head again. You squeeze the ball, the small ball, inside your left knee, and we'll do those hip circles. So again, finding neutral through the spine. Pretend you're pressing out into the band across your upper knee back, and there's still a neutral curve in your lower back. You're going to reach the thigh back. Knee goes up as the heel goes down, pull it through, and bring it in towards the chest and complete the circle in front. And then reach back, knee up, heel down. We're staying on our side. Glue the bottom thigh into the floor, anchoring the body. So we're only rotating at the hip. Even if that circle seems quite small, it's a true rotation at the hip. Keeping the spine still, rotating at the hip. Flex the foot. Keep squeezing the ball inside your knee. One last circle. Beautiful. Release the ball down, tap the hip. Lovely. Put the ball down. Now press yourself up into seated, but don't go all the way up. Sort of stay on the side so your bottom leg is in front and your back leg is slightly behind you. And you're pushing yourself through your, going the same side, and pushing myself through my right hand, through my right arm, and I keep my neck nice and long. Yeah? Now I'm going to reach the front arm forward. While pushing into the floor, I'm going to gently rotate towards my right side. Keep reaching the fingertips away from my shoulder. And I'll try to rotate my neck so I can look towards the back shoulder. And I'll slowly come back, center. Nice gentle rotation. And let's do it one more time. Push the floor away, make sure the neck feels long. Reach the arm forward. And then slowly start rotating while pushing the floor away. And then continue rotation through your neck. Press your back ribs back so we keep that neutral alignment through the spine. Look towards your back shoulder. And then come back to center. One more time. Pretend the bend is still over your upper mid back, right? So press up against it as you reach the arm forward. Rotate and keep pressing up against that phantom band across your upper mid back. Beautiful. And then slowly come back to center. Nice. Bring your arms or your legs forward and then over to the other side. So we'll start with the arm circles. The ball, George's ball will be underneath the side of our head. Have your blanket if you need it, handy. Then roll on to your other side. Holding the ball in your top arm. Find your neutral spine. So pretend you're pressing up against the band across your upper mid back, but you're not allowing the lower back to flatten, right? It still has that neutral curve. And now we're going to rotate the shoulder. If you want, you can have a blanket between your knees. Rotating, corkscrewing the root of the arm into shoulder. Explore the end range here. So how far you can rotate while still breathing. Squeezing the ball. Keeping your spine in neutral. Now bring the arm down, rotate it in so the ball is pointing behind you. Reach the arm back. Make sure you're not going to the back bend when you reach your arm back. Rotate, open the armpit up towards the sky. Bring the arm up and over. Beautiful. Reach the arm back. We're staying on our side. We're gluing the bottom leg into the floor, stabilizing the torso while rotating the shoulder. 2 more. Chin back. Rotate. Up and over. Beautiful. Now we'll reach the arm forward on the diagonal and the top leg back behind us. Straighten the knee. And then find a nice diagonal stretch from the fingertips on the right side to your right heel. You can gently rotate the torso towards the floor and straighten your bottom arm if that feels good. And then pull it back to center. Rest your head on the ball again, and the top leg moves forward. And the arm goes up and over your head and slightly behind you. Keep pressing through the back bottom ribs. Pressing out. So keeping that neutral curve. Reach. Feel away from your ball. And bring it back to center. Now the ball goes off to the side. The arm reaches alongside the body, pulling the ball towards that heel. Release the head down towards the floor. Squeeze the ball in the hand. As you exhale, lifting the head up. Slowly release down. Squeeze the ball, reach it towards the heel. And then lift up. And one more time. Releasing it down. Exhale. Bring it up. Now find the ball or your blanket to rest your head on. And we'll squeeze the ball inside the top knee. If you have a blanket between your knees, you can put it off to the side. Squeeze the ball. Make sure you still keep that neutral spine, right? You're pressing out through the upper knee back. Then glue your fingertips to the floor here. Reach the thigh back. Knee up, heel down. Pull through in towards the chest. The spine remains in neutral. Reach back. Knee up, heel down. The bottom leg is heavy on the floor. Notice how this side feels compared to the other side. Reach back. Knee up, heel down. Pull through. And one last time. Reach back. Knee up, heel down. Beautiful. Go out. And tuck your head. Lovely. So now we'll go onto the belly and we'll have the ball underneath the belly, the Porter's ball. Just below your belly button. Stay up on your forearms to begin with. This might feel quite intense. Just gently sway side to side here. You can try going around in a circle by pulling and pushing through the forearms, sort of going around the belly button with the ball. My toes are helping me a little bit, so I'm sort of steering with my toes here, as well as with my forearms. Go in one direction, go in the other direction. And go just above the belly button and see if you can rest there. You can stay up on your forearms if this feels intense. If you're on your forearms, try to breathe right into the spot where you feel the wall. Extend the belly into the wall. And exhale, soften. Maybe you can even rest your forehead on your hands here. With your breaths here. And then come up onto the forearms again if you were down. And then massage the belly again, but now make that circle a bit bigger. So it's just not over around the belly button, it's all the way up into the bottom ribs in the front, to the side, and down to the lower of the belly button. And then switch the direction of the opposite way. Use your toes, if that helps to steer the circle. Beautiful. Nice. Now we'll put the ball off to the side. And we'll find the long band. And we'll do some spinal extensions here using the band. So the band will be just below your belly button, underneath the hip bones here. So we need to pin it down with the weight of the body. With our okay. Try not to have it too low. We want the arms to pull on the band. So if the band is too low, you only can pull out to the side, but not down. So I'd like us to be able to pull down. So the band will be high enough underneath your hip bones. So when you pull on the band sideways and straighten your arms, you'll feel how that effort is pulling your arms down. And with the arms, the shoulder blades are sort of have to lower down on the rib cage. Okay? Release your head down to the floor. Inhale into the belly as though the portage bowl is still underneath your belly and you're sending it into it. Have your feet together. As you exhale, in the pelvis down into the floor, pull on your band. So the arms are nice and long. Feel the shoulder blades also low on your ribcage. And then see if you can lift the torso up away from the floor. And then slowly, slowly breathe down. Relax. Inhale into the belly. Extend into the floor. As you exhale, engage the legs, engage the hips. Press them down into the floor. Pull on the band out to sideways and also down. Your arms are reaching towards your heels, and then you'll lift the torso up. And slowly down. Beautiful. One more. Inhale into the belly. Exhale. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the buttocks. Press the pelvis into the floor. Pull on your band, the arms are straight. Lift up. Feet together. And then slowly down. Beautiful. Bring your arms forward so your forehead can rest on your hands. So I was engaging my legs so much that I felt almost like cramping through the soles of my feet. I know if you did too. Let's try to stretch the soles of our feet. So your forehead will be resting on your forehead, and you're going to pull the toes on your right foot in towards your knee,
Try to keep the thigh down on the floor and then point the toes, the right toes. I hope you can see my feet here. And again, pull the toes in, keep the thigh on the floor, and then point the toes. And then pull the right toes in, reach to the heel. Keep the toes on the floor, and now see if you can straighten your knee so that your thigh lifts off the floor. And then relax the knee and feel the thigh descend down into the floor. Your toes are still pressing into the ground. And straighten the knee, feel the thigh come off the floor, and then soften that down. So the toes stay pointed down into the floor, the feet are relatively together. And then straighten the knee, keep pulling the toes in. Yeah, lots of exhalation through the ankle here, and then slowly relax. The thigh down, point the toes. Let's do it on the other side. Let's see. I will lift my one leg up so you can see my left leg. So we're pointing the toes. Maybe I'll take the leg up this way. And then I'm pulling the toes in. Keep the thigh on the ground. And then point the toes again. And then pull the toes in. In, and then pull, point. And then pull in. Keep pulling in. Try to press the toes into the floor. I'll go this way. So keep the toes in. Now see if you can straighten your knee, and that will lift your thigh off the floor. And then you soften the thigh into the floor. Keep your toes on the floor. And then straighten the knee, lift the thigh off the floor, and then soften. And one more time. Straighten, pull the toes in, and then soften, and then point the toes, relax. Beautiful. So from there, see if you can bring your hands in line with your chest. Elbows are pointing up. Squeeze your elbows in. And then see if you can push your torso up and then onto your knees. And go into a child pose with your hips reaching for your heels. You can keep your knees wide. You can rest your forehead on your hands here. And just take a moment here, breathing into your belly. Allow the belly to soften towards the floor. Your hips don't have to be quite as far to the heels if this makes your knees feel unhappy. You can be sort of in the tabletop, doing the same thing, resting the forehead on your stacked up fists and allowing the belly to release towards the floor as you breathe. Make sure you're not collapsing into the middle back. Think of pressing up into that resistance band across your upper back still. And then slowly press yourself up onto your hands. And let's do a couple of minutes of free movement here. So see what your body wants you to do on your hands and knees. How your shoulders are feeling, how your hips are feeling. How your fingers, how your wrists. Playing with the distance between your hands and with the angle in your spine. Doesn't have to be straight all the time. You can walk your hands over to one side, round and arch here, and then to the other side. Also, one hand can be further ahead than the other one, or close in. Just exploring what's available in the spine. And maybe keeping the spine in neutral and going for a circle over your hips. That's good as well. Beautiful. So let's sit back. If you know this is difficult, you can use actually the porges ball sort of underneath your thighs like this and sit back over the porges ball. This takes pressure off the tops of the feet. With our hands right in front of you, we'll just warm up the wrists a little bit more. So, like the porges ball can be between your heels and your bum. This feels pretty good. So with your hands in front of you, see if you can tap your right palm without bending the elbow. Keep straightening your fingers and go slowly and see how high you can bring the palm off the floor. And now pull it up nice and high, keep your fingers spreading out. Keep your elbows straight. Notice if the shoulders want to come up to the ears. And then bring the palm down. And let's do the other side. So you tap. You keep your elbows straight. And you try to lift all the fingers off the floor. The elbows straight. And now pull it up. Spread the fingers. The elbows straight. Pull, pull, pull. Not easy. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, and put it down. Beautiful. Now pressing through the left, flip your right hand over. Press the back of your hand into the floor and see if you can collect the fingers into a fist. Start with your pointer because the pointer usually doesn't really want to participate in this stretch. So collect the pointer first, and the middle finger, the ring finger, and the pinky in. Try to keep the elbows straight. Nice. Now flip over and do the other side. So flip this hand over. Pressing the back of your hand into the floor. Bring the pointer in, the middle finger, the ring, and the thumb. A couple more times. Lovely. Nice. Now flip it over. If you're sitting on the porges ball, just come off it. Don't go into the tabletop, just slightly forward. And now see if you can press the hand into the floor, pushing the floor away, and try to move your shoulder blades on your back without changing the shape of your spine. So it's like you're pulling the floor in towards you and the shoulder blades come in towards the spine. And then you push the floor away and you widen the space between the shoulder blades. You inhale, pretend you're sort of pulling the floor in towards you through the palms of your hands. And that action brings the shoulder blades together on your spine. And you exhale, you push the floor away and you widen the space between the shoulder blades. Very nice. Yeah, that's good. The elbows stay straight. Lovely. Okay. Now we're gonna find the long resistance band again. And we'll wrap it across our lower back. We'll pull on the end and we'll come back into that same shape that we were just in. So it's not quite the tabletop. The hands are slightly in front of your shoulders. You can do this on your fists as well, if this feels better for your wrists. For now, try to keep your knees under your hips. And then here, see if you can articulate your lower back, pressing up against the bed, and then arching and giving in. Do this a few times. Very nice. So find neutral curve through the lower back. So you're not pressing up, you're not rounding too much, and you're not giving in too much. So press up against the resistance, just enough to notice that valley shape with the lower back. Yeah? So pressing through your hands or through your fists, see if you can reach your right leg out to the side with the toes pointing forward. And notice if it changed the curve in your lower back, right? So try to still have that curve there. And then from there, move your hips back, hinging over your left hip and forth, and try not to shift the shape, change the shape in your lower back. Back and forth. Nice, come back to center, and pull the left hand, sit back, let go of the band for a second. Let's go back onto our hands and knees. Now find your tabletop. Press through both hands like you're pushing the palms through the floor. Try to rotate the eye of the elbow forward towards you. Notice if the elbows want to go out to the side. Think of maybe holding a watermelon between your elbows. So push so much through the hands that you feel a space between the shoulder blades widen. Now pushing a bit more through your right side, see if you can lift your left hand off the floor without changing the shape of your spine. And then put it down. Beautiful. Pressing through the left hand, through the right hand. Now press through your right knee as well, and then left hand comes off the floor. So the right hand and the left knee are pushing to the floor, and the left hand is off the floor. Feel how your body is negotiating this resistance into the rotation. It wants to rotate, but you're resisting. Beautiful, come back to center. Pushing through both hands again, a lot. So the space between the shoulder blades widens. Start pushing through the left hand and through the right knee. So much that your right hand becomes light and you lift it off the floor. You can allow the elbow to soften. Pushing through the left hand and the right knee. Push, push, push. Resist this desire to sort of collapse towards the floor through the right side. And then bring it back to center. Beautiful. So come back towards your heels. Just a little exploration there. Now we're going to hug the bend across the lower back again, and we'll do that stretch for the inner thigh on the other side. So your hands are moving slightly ahead forward of your shoulders, and the bend is hugging you across your lower back. Let's press up against the bend and then give in a few more times. I'm on my fist here. It's kind of easy to hold the bend, but if you put it inside the fist and then press the fist into the floor. And now find neutral through your lower back, so it feels like there is a valley there, right? We're not rounding into the back. Now your leg, the opposite leg reaches out to the side, the one that you haven't done yet. The toes are pointing forward. Keep the curve through the lower back and then rock back and forth, hinging over that bent leg and try not to lose the curve through your lower back. A couple more times. Beautiful, and pull it back in. Sit back, let go of the bend. Come down onto your forearms. Let's try to move the shoulder blades here. Maybe even going for a circle. Dragging the shoulders up to the ears, pushing, widening the space between the shoulder blades. And then allowing the chest to soften towards the floor and then shoulder blades to come in towards the spine. Beautiful. Now come up onto your hands. Now we're in the tabletop. The hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are under the hips, And we'll reach the left leg out to the side, just like we did before, but now without the bend. Pushing through both hands, push a lot, and then start pushing through your right hand even more. Keep the eye of the elbow pointing forward, push, 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 push. And as you keep pushing, your left hand becomes lighter and you sort of open and you rotate, you send your left arm up towards the sky. Finding a gentle rotation through the spine. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling and then slowly bring yourself back to the floor. Let's do it one more time. Inhale into the belly. Your back toes are curled under, so it's giving your foot a little bit of an angle there. Push through both hands so the space between the shoulder blades widens. So you start pushing through the right hand a little bit more than through the left. Push, 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 and then the left off the floor. You keep pushing through the right and you reach the left up towards the sky, opening the chest to the side. Push through your right hand a lot. And then bring it back to the floor. Pull the leg in, and I will reach the other leg out to the side. Pretend you're imprinting your hands into the floor. So we're not dumping into the wrists, we're using the hands to push the floor away actively. Push, 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 widen the space between the shoulder blades. Start pushing through the left side even more. The right hand becomes lighter, and then you push through the left and you open the right arm up towards the sky, rotating your chest open on the other side. Look towards your fingertips, tuck your chin in so the neck is long, and then slowly, slowly come back to center. One more time. Push through your hands. Push. Rotate the eye of the elbow forward. Start pushing through the left even more. And then lifting your right arm up. The left up. Opening the chest out to the side. Pushing through the left. And a lot. And then slowly come back to center. Pull the leg in. And then slowly make your way onto the side, onto your back, to rest. Have your knees bent. Articulate your lower back here. See how the lower back feels. So on the inhale, you tip your pelvis forward. On the exhale, you tip it back. Press the lower back into the ground. Do it a couple more times. And then find stillness. Find what feels like neutral shape for your spine. Allow your knees to come together. Allow your arms to rest by your sides. Checking in with the breath. Checking in with how things feel now after your practice. Noticing how much of your body is available to your breath now. And slowly invite your inhales to lengthen. Your exhales to lengthen. Move your fingers and your toes. Straighten your legs. Cross your right ankle over left. Bring your arm in front of your face. Interlock your fingers. Bring the arms closer to your face, but make sure the ribs stay heavy on the ground. And now take your legs to the left and your arms to the left, creating a crescent shape for the entire body. Reach to the fingertips. shrinking the left side of the body and lengthening through the right. Keep the ribs heavy on the floor. Come back to center. Cross your left ankle over right. Take your legs and your arms over to the right, creating a crescent shape on the other side. Try to keep your ribs heavy on the floor. Breath here. And come back to center. Now knees. And roll to the side. And lift yourself up.
And this will be the end of your practice.